Hello friends, welcome. In this video, we are going to discuss various ways to revert the changes in Git. Okay, so we will discuss git reset, git revert, and git checkout command. So I will show you how to revert the changes using these three commands, and while doing so, we will also see the difference between these three commands. And to demonstrate this, I've already initialized a Git repository with this file structure, and I have also pushed this code to the Git repository. So we will first discuss the git reset command. Okay, so let's start with the git reset command. Okay, so if you want to revert back to your previous changes, you need to use this command git reset commit id and the options. Okay, so there are three options: mixed, hard, and soft, in which mix is the default options. So even if you don't provide a mix, this will get automatically applied to this git reset command. Okay, so to reset we need the commit id. Okay, so we first need to find the commit id to which you want to your code to be in, right, in which you want your code state to be in. Okay, so let's go to the terminal and let's use git reset command. Okay, how it works, let's see. Okay, so let's first do some commits. Okay, and then we will go back to previous commit using the git reset command, but before that, let's do some commits first. Okay, so here, okay, so let me update some files first. So I will update this file like this, file 2 updated, and let's go to the terminal, and if we do the git status, okay, we will see that we have modified this file. So let me commit this particular change. Okay, so git add all files, then git commit, and in the message I will say file to updated.
Now we will also push this change to the master branch as well. So we will do git push origin master. Okay, so now this change has been pushed to the master branch. Now let's do one more commit. Okay, so let's go to the file explorer and let's update file3.txt as file3 updated, and let's do one more commit here. Git add all files, git commit, and here we will say file3 updated, and let's push this commit as well to the repository git push origin master. Okay, so now if we go back to our GitHub and if I refresh this page, so these are our two commits, file2 updated and file3 updated, and these are their commit IDs. Okay, so now let's suppose you want to revert these last two commits. Okay, and you want to go back to the state of the code, like you want the state of the code to be at this point, like this commit id. Okay, so basically we want to revert our last two commits. Okay, so let's go back to the terminal. Okay, and let me clear the console and let's do first git log. Let's see the last 5 commits. Okay, so we will go back to this commit. Okay, so resetting our source code to this commit id, this will remove these two changes, these two commit ids. Okay, let's see this. Okay, so we will do git reset, and then we will copy this commit id here, and we will do a hard reset. Okay, okay, so let's do this. Okay, so now the head is now pointing at here. Okay, so if I see the logs again, okay, so now you can see like when we first run git log command, okay, we can see well, the last two commits which we created a while ago. Okay, but now after resetting our code to this commit, okay, now our head is now pointing to this commit id. Okay, so which means that the changes we did in these two commit ids has been rolled back. Okay, so if you go to the file explorer, you can see that file 2 and file 3 are now updated, like they are now reverted. The change that we did are now gone. Okay, so now the last step here is to push these changes to the git repository. Okay, so for that what we will do, git push origin master. Okay, so if I run this command, it will not allow us to push these changes. Okay, you can see, let me show you, because git because it is being rejected because our current branch is behind the remote branch. Okay, so if you want these changes to be pushed to the git repository, what you need to do, you need to do git push origin master, and then you need to add one more thing here, dash f, so that you can forcefully apply your changes, the changes you reverted, and then they will be pushed to the your git repository. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit the enter button, and now this will allow you to push your changes to the github. Okay, so now if I refresh this page, you will notice that our last two commits will get removed, and now our head is pointing to this git id here. Okay, let me refresh this page. So now you can see that the last two commits that we did in file2.txt and file3.txt, those commits are removed. Okay, so now you have the idea now that if you do git reset, okay, not only it will revert your changes, it will also remove the commits from your git history. You can verify this thing by looking at the logs again. So let me first clear the logs, and if you see now our git head is now pointing to this commit id, and whatever changes we did above this commit id are now removed. Now let's see like what happened if we not do a hard reset. Okay, because we have some other options as well, right? Okay, we have mixed and soft reset as well. Okay, so let's first see like what happen if we do mixed reset. Okay, so for that what we will do, we will again commit some changes, and then we will run git reset commit id, and now with the mixed option. Okay, this option. So let's go back to the file explorer again, and here I will say file to updated again, and let's go back to the terminal and to git status. Okay, now let's push this change. Let's commit this change first, and then we will push it to the GitHub. So here we will say file to updated again. Okay, so now it's committed. Now let's push this change. Okay, let's go to the GitHub and refresh the page, and we will be able to see our latest commit here. File to updated again. Let's modify file 3 as well. File 3.txt. File 3 updated again. Okay, and now let's do git status. So it will show that file 3 is modified. So let's add this commit as well. So we will say git and here I will add the message file 3 updated again. And now let's push this change to the GitHub as well. Git push origin master. Okay, so this is done. Now if I refresh GitHub, and then we can see our latest commit, that is file 3 updated again. Okay, so last time when we did the git reset using hard option, so the changes that we did in our last two commits were also reverted. Okay, but now let's see what happened with the mixed option. Okay, so let's clear this. Okay, and what I will do, I will first uh, get the commit id. Okay, so now we will again revert our last two commits. Okay, and again at same we will point our git head to this commit id. Okay, so let's git log, and then okay, so now let's again do the same thing. We will revert our last two commits, and we will reset our code to this state. Okay, so I will again copy this commit id, and then I will say git reset, and then paste the commit id, and then I will say mixed. Okay, since mixed is the default option. Okay, so we don't need to write mixed here. Okay, so let's see what happened. Okay, if I reset to this commit id, so now you can see that our changes are in unstaged. Okay, when we did a hard reset, the changes were not even in the unstaged state, right? They were reverted. Okay, but when we do the git reset without hard option, okay, you can see that the changes are not reverted. The changes are not reverted, but the files are being sent to the unstaged area. So if I go to the file explorer, you can see that the changes are not reverted. Okay, but the files is has been moved to the unstaged area. Okay, so that's the difference between the hard reset and the mixed reset. Okay, so changes will not get reverted, but the files which you have changed, okay, in last two commits, they will move to the unstaged area. Okay, so now here what we can do here, so I will say here unupdated, and here I will say I will remove this again keyword from here. Okay, and then save the changes. Okay, so basically you can use this mode where like you do not want to revert the changes, but you you want those changes to be there in your machine. Okay, because if you do git hard reset, okay, so your changes will also get removed, okay, from the history. There is no way you can get them, okay, using git hard reset. But if you do not provide any option like hard reset, if you do only git reset commit id, by default it will be mixed option will get applied. So your changes will not get lost, but they will just move to the unstaged area. So here what you can do, like you can see your changes which you want to like modify. Okay, even you can like manually revert those changes, or you can do some changes modification, and then we can commit these changes. Okay, so if we do git status, okay, you can see that these are in unstaged area, because git is also showing these files in unstaged area because the color is red. So we will add this file, and then we will do the commit at the same time. Okay, we will say reverting, we will say updated the last two commit changes. Okay, now again if you try to push these changes, it will not allow you to do. Let's try out. Okay, so again the same message because these updates were rejected. Okay, so again if you want to push these changes, you need to provide dash f here, and then you will be able to push this. Okay, so this is pushed. Okay, and if I refresh this page, our last two commits will get removed. Okay, and now the last commit is this commit. Okay, so this is basically the difference between hard and mixed option. Okay, in hard you lost the commit and the changes. Okay, and if you do it with the mixed option, you will not lose the changes. They will move to the unstaged area where you can manually revert those changes, or if you want to modify anything which you have messed up, uh, and then you can add and commit those changes. And so here it will, the last commit is also created, okay, which we have modified. Okay, so now let's go back to our whiteboard. Okay, so we have seen mixed option as well as git reset hard as well. Okay, so now we will discuss the soft option. What happen uh, if we do a soft reset? Okay, so let's go back to the terminal and clear the console again. So now let's do some commits again. So let's go back to the file explorer, and here I will say file to soft update, and then I will commit this change. So git add and git commit file to soft update. Okay, okay, so it should be dash m. Okay, so this commit is done. Let's do another change in and do one more commit here. So file 3 soft update. So here git add and git commit, and this time it's file3, so file3 soft update. Okay, and now let's see the logs. Okay, so if I see the logs here, okay, so here you can see we have done 2 commits. Okay, and now we will see how soft reset work. Okay, so when we do a soft reset, the whatever changes we did, okay, like if you do a soft reset using this commit id, so whatever changes we did about this commit id, like in these 2 commit ids, these changes will move to the staged area. Okay, so let's do the git reset soft. Okay, and then I will copy this commit id. Okay, and then if I run this command, the changes we did about this commit id, okay, all the changes will move to the stage area. So unlike in git reset mixed, okay, the changes will move to the unstaged area, but here the changes will move to the staged area. Okay, so now the question here is that, like, then what is the use of this soft command here if the changes like they are not the changes are not reverted, and as well as they are not moving to the unstaged area, they are going to the staged area. So then what is the use of this soft command? Okay, so you can use this option. Okay, you can use git reset soft in a situation where, like, you have like did some commits, like here we did this file to soft update, and then we did another commit here, but then you realize that these 2 commits should be part of the single commit. Okay, but then you mistakenly like committed these changes in different commit ids, like you did 2 different commits for the same change, but now you want these to be changes to be part of the same commit id. So in that case you can use git soft reset. Okay, so let me show you. So if I do this, okay, let me first show you what is this git status here. Okay, so branch is ahead of master by 2 commits. Okay, so here let's do git reset. Okay, not this one, we need this id, and we will do the soft reset here, and then we will enter. Okay, now if I do git status here, you can see that now these files, their color is green, which means that they are not reverted as well, and they are not moved to the unstaged area. Okay, so now we will do another commit here. Okay, file 2 and file 3 soft update, let's say. Okay, now they are committed now. Okay, now I can do git push origin master, and now if you do the git log here, now you can see that now the 2 different commits we did, okay, now they are pointing to the same commit id. Okay, so this is a very rare scenario. Okay, but this is where you can like utilize the git reset soft option. So let's do a quick recap. Okay, let's go back to the whiteboard. Okay, so we started with git reset hard, and in this we saw that all the changes which we committed after this commit id, they will get reverted. Okay, they will be rolled back. Okay, and so when and then we look at the mix, git reset mixed. Okay, so in this your changes will not roll back, but all the changes which you did after this commit id, they will move to unstaged area. Okay, and then we also look at the git reset soft. Okay, and in this we saw that all the changes move to the staged area. All the changes which we did after this commit id, okay, they will move to the staged area. Okay, so we can say in short, changes will move to staged area. In git reset hard, changes will get reverted, and using git reset mixed, okay, which is the default option, changes will move to the unstaged area. Unstaged area. Okay, so that's all about git reset command. So now let's move to our second topic, that is git revert command. Okay, to use this command, we will use git revert and then the commit id. Okay, so let's go to the ide, and here let's do some changes, and then we will commit those changes, and then we will revert those changes using git revert command. Okay, so I am at file4.txt, so let's change this to file4 is changed. Okay, and now let's go to the git bash and commit this change. And we will say file4 is changed. Okay, so we will also push this change to the master as well. So git push origin master. Okay, so it's done. Okay, so now if I refresh this page, we will be able to see our latest commits. Yes, now it is here. Okay, so now let's revert this change. Okay, so how we to do it? Okay, so let's first do git log here. Okay, so in order to change this commit, okay, the changes we did in this commit, okay, we will use git revert, and then we need to use this commit id, okay, here, because we want to revert this particular change that we did in this commit id. Okay, so like when we were doing git reset, okay, if we want to like revert this change, we will use this id, commit id, when we were using git reset, because we want the state of our code to be here. So in git reset, if you want your changes up till here, so you need to use this id. But in git revert, if you want to revert this change here, okay, so you need this id here. Okay, so there is some differences. Okay, so here we need to revert this change, so we will use this commit id. So let me copy this, and then I will use the git revert and then the git commit id. Okay, so here we need to provide some message. Then if I save, okay, so now if I do git status, Okay, here it will say that your branch is ahead of master by one commit. And let's go back to the id and see our changes are reverted or not. Okay, so if you go back, you can see that it is reverted. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to push this change to the master as well, so that the changes are reverted from the git repository as well. So git push origin master, and it's done. So let's go back to the github, and if you see, our latest change was revert file 4. Okay, so if you compare with git reset, okay, so in git reset, okay, if you want to like revert your last commit, okay, so you will use the commit id, this commit id here. Okay, so what it will do, it will revert everything about this commit id. Okay, so it will revert this change when we use git reset. But in git revert, okay, if you want to revert this commit id, okay, so we need to provide this commit id in git revert command. So what it will do, it will revert the changes that we did in this commit id. Okay, and it will move the state of that particular code to what it was in this commit id. Okay, and when we do git reset, okay, uh, we lost the commit history. But if I do git status here, oh sorry, if I do git log here, okay, you can see no commit is lost. Okay, every, you can see that every commit is there. Okay, so git revert command itself produces a new commit. Now I will show you one more scenario using get revert. Okay, so for that I will do some commits. Okay, so let's go back to the IDE, and here I will change file3.txt. Let's say I will add log1. Okay, now let's go back to the terminal, and here let's quickly add this change, file3 log1. Okay, and let's push this change to the master as well. Okay, now let's do one more commit. Okay, so in the same file we will do this change. So here I will say log2. Okay, and let's do this commit as well, and here we will say file3 log2 in the commit message. Okay, so this is done. Let's push this as well. Yes, now let's go back and let's do another commit, and this time it will be log3. And let me add this to the github as well. So file3 log3 in the commit message, and now let's push this to the master branch. Okay, so now let's go back to the github. Okay, and let me refresh this. So as you can see, our last three commits here as log1, log2, log3. Okay, so now what we will do, we will revert the changes which we did in this commit. Okay, file3 log2. Okay, so let's go back to the terminal. Okay, and let me clear the console, and then let's do git log again. Okay, so now what we will do, we want to revert this change here. Okay, the changes we did in this commit id. Okay, so if I do git revert and then this commit ID, okay, so what happened? It will revert the changes that we did in this commit ID, okay, but it will not revert the changes we did in this commit ID, okay. So using git revert here, if I use this commit ID to revert, only this change will revert, okay, not this one. So let's do git revert and then let me copy this commit ID and let's do it. Okay, so see what happened here is that we have a conflict here. Why? Because here we have reverted using this commit ID, okay, and now it's moved, the changes are reverted, but since we have changes of this commit ID as well, okay, so our file is in conflict. Okay, so this is what I want to show you, like this scenario. Okay, you may encounter this scenario using git revert. Okay, so if I go to the IDE here, you can see that, okay, we we tried to revert the changes of log2, okay, but then it resulted in a conflict. Okay, so here what we will do, we will manually revert the changes which we did in the log2. Okay, so I will remove the log2 here and let me resolve this to this. Okay, so now it will be log1, log3 and log2 I have removed. Now let's go back to the terminal, okay, and then do git status. Okay, so let's commit this change and then revert log to. Okay, and now let's push this change to the master branch. Okay, so now it's done and all looks fine now. Okay, and if I refresh this page, we will see another commit for the revert of log2. And if we look at the file contents of file 3 here on the GitHub, you can see that it will be log1 and log3. Okay, so I hope you guys understand how git revert works. Okay, so now let's go back to the whiteboard. Okay, so this is all about git revert. Okay, and now we will move on to our next topic. Okay, and that will be now git checkout. In order to use this, the command will be git checkout commit id and the dot, and this dot is very important here. If you don't add this at the end of this command, then your git state will go into a detached head. Okay, so let's go to the IDE and here let's create a new file and the file name, let's have it as file 11.txt, and here we will say new file 11. Okay, so we have added a new file. Now let's go to file 6.txt and here I will say file 6 updated. Okay, so now let's go to the terminal here and let me clear the console. Okay, so let's first add the files that we have modified to the staged area. Okay, so if I do git status, okay, so we have modified file 6.txt and apart from that we created a new file with name file11.txt. So I will add all this to a Git repository. Let me commit the changes. So git add all, and in the message I will say file 6 and file 11. And also let's push this to the master branch. Okay, now let me clear the console again and let me do a git log. So now we will revert the changes that we did in our last commit using git checkout command. So basically what will we do, we will check out this commit id. Okay, so what it will do, it will revert the changes to the state we used to have in this commit id. So basically we can check out any commit id from git history. Okay, so let's suppose if we check out this commit id, so it will revert the changes. Okay, it will revert all the changes about this commit id, and the changes will be reverted to the state it used to have in this commit id. Okay, but there is one catch with git checkout command, and the catch is that if you have created a new file, that file will not get deleted or roll back. Okay, so in our last commit we modified file 6.txt, and as well as we created a new file 11.txt. So if I do git checkout using this commit id here, okay, so the new file that we created in this commit id, that file will not get removed. Okay, only the changes that we have modified in the existing files, only those changes will get reverted using git checkout command. So here git checkout command differs from the git reset and git revert command, and the difference is that newly created files will not get deleted or rolled back. Okay, so now let's go to the terminal and use the git checkout command. So git checkout, I will revert back to this commit id. Okay, so let me copy this one, and then I will also add the dot here. Okay, and let me hit the enter button. Okay, so now we have checked out this commit id, and let's do git status. So as you can see, the changes are reverted, and the reverted changes, okay, are moved to the staged area. Okay, so if I go to the IDE, okay, you can see that file 6.txt file changes are reverted. Okay, but the file 11.txt file is still there. Okay, as we just discussed a moment ago. Okay, new files will not get deleted if we do a git checkout. Okay, so now all we need to do is we need to push these changes to the master branch. Okay, uh, before we push these changes to the master branch, we need to commit these changes as well. So we will git commit, and then reverting file 6 changes. Yep. and now we will push these changes to the master branch. Okay, now let's check this on GitHub as well. So as you can see, our changes are reverted, and now if I go to file 6.txt, it will show me the old content. Okay, because we have reverted the changes in our last commit. Okay, using git checkout command. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching this video.